Hello everyone, ShadowRock here to talk about Rockman X DiVE for the first time in a long time actually. Yeah, we've been going all in on our Mega Man 0 and ZX Legacy Collection coverage over the last couple weeks. At this point though, we are pretty much done with it other than the final review itself. So now it's finally time to dive back in and see what's going on with Rockman X DiVE. To start things off, we have a bit of downer news. Well, at the very least, X doesn't look very excellent here at all. So I can only assume that with this message, the developers on the Facebook page are feeling very remorseful. They say, in all their English glory, "Thanks for all your supports. The game is now in its final stage of optimization. We will put great efforts to bring you the best experience, and would announce the date for releasing in the near future. We really appreciate your patience. Thank you." This was posted on March 4th, 8 days ago, which it was a very interesting time to actually make this post because, as we covered in the past, the Apple App Store for iOS originally posted a release date for March 4th when those listings went up, but then they changed it to March 31st a bit later, as sort of a placeholder date. So given that on March 4th of all days, they come out and apologize that the game isn't out yet, telling us what's going on, that it's in its final stage of optimization and everything. It makes you think, was March 4th the actual planned release date at some point? Honestly, we can never know because they really don't do a good job of communicating these things to us. But we may have just experienced our third delay now? I think it's our third delay. Now, whether that means the game is going to be delayed out of the March window that we've had, that remains to be seen, because they do say in the near future, so hopefully that means this game is still coming out by the end of March, but who knows, man, at this point. At the very least, I don't think it's coming out this week, because as Rockman Corner previously reported, the first event for Rockman X DiVE was supposed to happen on March 14th, which is in a couple of days from when I'm recording this. Considering we haven't heard anything about the release 2 days before, it's safe to say that X DiVE is not going to meet the deadline for the first event either. It looks like all the goalposts have been shifted once again. I gotta say, that's gotta be a lot of bugs they gotta fix with this game. And honestly, I can see it after we played the closed beta test. But another reason why these delays are happening may be due to the coronavirus epidemic that's going on right now in the real world. Even the X DiVE developers, being from Taiwan, have been posting a lot of things about it. Like this gentle reminder from Cinnamon reminding you to wash your hands frequently, and just don't go outside, folks. The best defense against this virus right now is simply do not go outside. Don't shake hands with anybody, keep yourself clean at all times, quarantine yourself basically until this blows over. If you do happen to be outside and you got the cough and the sniffles, well, our boy X here has the most epic defensive stance ever to help you keep yourself from making others sick. If you feel a cough coming up, just simply do the mouth charging shot, aka a dab. With this maneuver, even the viruses will be saying, "Not a charge shot." Excellent advice, X. Also, is it a coincidence that we're dealing with a real live virus pandemic right now, and in X DiVE you have to bust viruses that are causing problems with the deep log? Yeah, just a comparison I noticed. Not to mention the developers also have to fix their own errors in the deep log before the game actually comes out. But in the meantime, I mentioned how goalposts have been moved, but at least for us fans, we are achieving some goals of our own. Previously we talked about the rewards that you can get, depending on how many players pre-register for the game. There's elemental medals, the ZX Saber, Falcon Buster, and the Gatling weapon. Well, I am happy to report, mission accomplished, everyone. We've officially gotten all that stuff, and one more thing. Because 500,000 people have pre-registered, I don't know if those are 500,000 humans per se. People might have made alternate emails again, since again it's very easy to do. The developers are also giving us a legendary weapon to start out with, which is the Extraordinary Mortar. Wait, what is this weapon again? It looks awfully familiar, but I don't recognize the name. Well, that's because this weapon is actually the virus launcher that we had in the closed beta test. But for some reason, they've changed the name to Extraordinary Mortar. This could have been likely because you can't exactly have a weapon called a virus launcher that literally launches viruses, while there's a certain coronavirus going around right now. Obviously we know what it's actually for, but naming it something like that right now when things are really sensitive with people, folks on the outside might take a look at this and be like, "Oh, you're talking about the virus, I'm so offended." At least that's the type of thing that Capcom is trying to avoid here. Presumably anyway. An alternate theory is that Google Translate strikes again. So that's cool, we're getting 4 new weapons and a lot of elemental metals, so we can at least get a free 10x roll for our gacha. Oh yes, it will begin soon, hopefully, if this game actually comes out. But anyways, our last update for today is something new for once. Oh my goodness. So as we talked about before, Rockman X DiVE has been releasing all these character trailers for each of the characters, showing off their skills. And most of them have been old news up to this point, because we've already seen the characters. But today we finally got someone new, Massimo from MegaQuint X Command Mission. We've read the descriptions for these skills before, but we haven't seen actual footage of them until now. First up we have the Whirlwind, where Massimo spins that axe around and around, smacking any enemies in his way. Looks like a decent crowd clearance skill for a melee skill. Now behold, Massimo's true power, the Berserk Charge. His action trigger from Command Mission. As you would expect, he fires a giant beam before him, and it looks like it locks on too to an enemy's position, so that's cool. It's just a long straight beam piercing anything in its path. Overall, not bad, not bad. Nothing here looks broken to me, but it's no Axel at least. Oh, and it should be noted that in the trailer we can see that each of these skills only have one use before the cooldown. Lastly, since this is the first time we're seeing Massimo in the game, you can hear some of the voice clips they're going with for his character in X DiVE. As with previous characters, they're obviously reusing voice clips from previous games. In this case, they're literally just reusing Massimo's lines from the Japanese version of Command Mission. Makes sense. Well, that will about do it for today's update on Rockman X DiVE. Guys, I have no idea when this game's coming out anymore. Is it still happening this month? Or is this gonna be one of those games that just gets delayed forever and forever, stays in development hell until it's cancelled or otherwise? I don't know, man. But they did say that the game is in its final stages of optimization, so hopefully that means it's coming sooner than we think. Of course, like I've said before, the initial launch will only be in Taiwan and other Asian countries. Those of us elsewhere, like most of us watching this video probably, will have to wait a bit longer. Unless you download the APK or use Q app, of course. As for us, we will be getting back into the swing of doing news very soon here, now that our Mega Man Zero and ZX Legacy Collection coverage is wrapping up, and I will be writing that review soon. After that, it's just a matter of keeping an eye on X DiVE and seeing when this is finally going to drop, so we can cover that one. There's some other things in the future too, like whenever the new Mega Man console game will be announced, which that topic is a little complicated right now because, like we talked about earlier, the coronavirus is really affecting everything. It's pretty much shutting down everything right now. Local events, worldwide events, like E3 2020. Yeah, that's not happening anymore, folks. They said that they might shift towards a digital presentation instead, but yeah, the traditional E3 as we know it isn't happening this year. I don't think they'd announce a Mega Man game at E3 anyways, but if they were going to, now it's probably going to be during either a Nintendo Direct, a PlayStation State of Play, or that Xbox digital event that's been announced now. Yeah, the world is pretty crazy at the moment, but as I said earlier in the video, my best advice is stay home, make sure you get all your medicines and other necessities prepared, except for toilet paper. I don't know what the deal about the toilet paper is, to be honest with you, in case you do get sick. And don't freak out if you do get it, it's just a regular flu, it should go over just like one. It's really just people who are over the age of 60 or otherwise have compromised immune systems that are at risk here. Most of us though should be fine. It's just one of those things that has to blow over. Just stay prepared, stay home if you don't want to get sick, if at all possible, of course. I know that work is also a thing. And of course the big one, regularly wash your hands like all the time. Keep sanitizer on you at all times. And don't make physical contact with anybody. Oh, and keep your hands off your face, for goodness sakes. That's all I got though. So I do want to thank you guys for tuning in for this Rockman X DiVE news update again. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on board. Boy, it would be nice if X DiVE was out with this virus keeping us all at home. But hey, whatever. We'll just have to keep an ear out for whenever it finally comes out. For more on X DiVE and other things Mega Man, of course, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX. Thank you once again, and until next time, rock on and stay safe out there.